Hi guys, how are you? I hope you'll be fine. So this is my Farsha, and today I'm gonna do a podcast with Chatgpt. As you know that it has a new advanced voice mode feature. So let's start it without wasting any time. By the way, ChatGPT is a good source, and you can ask questions, and now you can talk to her. Um, so let's open it. Hey ChatGPT, how are you?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I am also fine. So ChatGPT, can you please give me some topics so that we can talk about?
Sure. Here are a few fun topics. Favorite books or movies? Hobbies or new skills you're learning? 3. Travel destinations you'd love to visit. 4. Any interesting science or tech topics you're curious about. What sounds good to you?
Okay, so I'm
How
gonna
about we
I wanna talk about um, what I'm learning now and about science and tech.
That's great. What are you learning right now?
I'm learning a human respiratory and circulatory system, and I have a few more doubts about that. What is actually plasma do in our body, and can you please tell me?
Plasma is a crucial component of your blood, making up about 55% of its total volume. It's a yellowish liquid that carries cells and proteins throughout your body. Plasma is mainly composed of water, salts, and proteins, and it helps transport nutrients, hormones, and waste products. It also plays a key role in maintaining blood pressure and volume. Is there anything else you'd like to know about plasma or human physiology?
Uh, yep, I really think something to plasma. What is the lifespan of white blood cells?
White blood cells, or leukocytes, have varying lifespans depending on their type. Neutrophils, the most common type, usually live for about 1 to 2 days, while lymphocytes can live from a few days to several years. Monocytes typically last for a few hours to a few days, and eosinophils and basophils generally live for a few days. Each type plays a vital role in your immune system, helping to protect your body from infections and other diseases. Anything specific you'd like to know more about them?
Um, yep, that how they works in our body.
White blood cells work by identifying and attacking pathogens like bacteria, viruses, and other foreign invaders. They circulate in your bloodstream and tissues, constantly on the lookout for signs of infection. When they detect a threat, they move towards it and work to neutralize it. Different types of white blood cells have specialized functions. For example, neutrophils are often the first responders to bacterial infections, while lymphocytes are crucial for. Does that help clarify how they function?
Yeah, thank you so much. You are right. Can you please tell me that how the our lungs and how we actually breathe?
You're welcome. Our lungs are vital organs responsible for breathing. They work by bringing oxygen into our bodies and expelling carbon dioxide. When you inhale, your diaphragm and intercostal muscles contract, expanding the chest cavity. This expansion creates negative pressure, causing air to flow into the lungs. Once inside, oxygen passes through tiny air sacs called alveoli into the bloodstream. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide from the blood is transferred to the alveoli and expelled when you exhale. This process is continuous and essential for supplying oxygen to our tissues and removing waste gases. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, so thank you so much, ChatGPT. Now I wanna know about how the glycolysis process actually happens in our body.
You're welcome. Glycolysis is the process by which glucose is broken down in our cells to produce energy. It occurs in the cytoplasm and doesn't require oxygen. The process involves a series of steps where glucose is converted into pyruvate, generating ATP and NADH, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, in the process. ATP is the main energy currency of the cell, used for various cellular activities. Is there anything else you'd like to know about glycolysis or other metabolic processes?
Okay, so please tell me about that. Um, what is
Sure.
trachea?
What's
What is trachea and how it works in our body? Because I have a little bit confusion.
The trachea, also known as the windpipe, is a crucial part of the respiratory system. It's a tube that connects your larynx, or voice box, to your bronchi, which are the main passageways into your lungs. The trachea is made of C-shaped rings of cartilage that keep it open, allowing air to flow freely to and from the lungs. When you breathe in, air travels down the trachea, and when you breathe out, it exits through the same pathway. Is there anything else you'd like to know about how it works?
Yeah. That also. What is larynx?
The larynx, also known as the voice box, is located in your throat just above the trachea. It plays a key role in breathing, producing sound, and protecting the trachea against food aspiration. The larynx houses the vocal cords, which vibrate to produce sound when air passes through them. It's situated at the top of the trachea and below the pharynx, throat, and it helps ensure that food and drink go down the esophagus and not into the respiratory tract. Does that clear things up?
Yeah. Thank you. Basically, uh, how our heart works, and please explain the heart.
The heart is a muscular organ that pumps blood throughout your body, supplying oxygen and nutrients to tissues and removing waste products. It has four chambers, two atria, upper chambers, and two ventricles, lower chambers. The right side of the heart receives deoxygenated blood from the body and pumps it to the lungs to pick up oxygen. The left side receives oxygenated blood from the lungs and pumps it out to the rest of the body. The heart works through a coordinated contraction and relaxation cycle. Atrial contraction. The atria contract, pushing blood into the ventricles. Ventricular contraction. The ventricles contract, sending blood to the lungs and the rest of the body. Relaxation. The heart relaxes, allowing the chambers to fill with blood again. The heart's rhythm is controlled by electrical signals, ensuring a steady and coordinated heartbeat. Anything else you'd like to know?
Okay. What?
If you have any
Please explain it more to me. That how the blood carries oxygen, and what's that process?
Sure. When you breathe in, oxygen enters your lungs and moves into tiny air sacs called alveoli. From there, oxygen diffuses into the blood in the surrounding capillaries. Hemoglobin, a protein in red blood cells, binds to the oxygen, forming oxyhemoglobin. The oxygen-rich blood is then pumped by the heart through arteries to various tissues and organs. As blood circulates, oxygen is released from hemoglobin and diffuses into the cells where it's used for energy production. Meanwhile, carbon dioxide, a waste product of metabolism, diffuses from the cells into the blood. The deoxygenated blood carrying carbon dioxide returns to the heart via veins and is then pumped to the lungs. There, carbon dioxide is released from the blood into the alveoli and exhaled out of the body. The cycle then repeats with each breath. Does that help explain it?
Yeah. Thank you for explaining me that good. But um, can you please tell me that all the process of our lungs, our respiratory and circulatory system actually happens in detail?
Absolutely. The respiratory and circulatory systems work closely together to ensure oxygen reaches every cell and carbon dioxide is removed. This coordination is often referred to as the cardiorespiratory system. Here's a simple overview. 1. Breathing respiration. When you inhale, air enters your lungs and oxygen is absorbed into the bloodstream in the alveoli. At the same time, carbon dioxide is transferred from the blood to the alveoli to be exhaled. 2. Circulation. The oxygen-rich blood from the lungs is pumped by the heart through arteries to tissues and organs. The oxygen is used by cells for energy production, and carbon dioxide, a waste product, is picked up by the blood. 3. Return and exhalation. The deoxygenated blood returns to the heart via veins and is pumped to the lungs, where carbon dioxide is exchanged for fresh oxygen, and the cycle repeats. Does that give you a clearer picture?
Okay, yeah, that's nice. But you explained very good, actually.
Thank you. I'm glad it was helpful. If you have any more questions or need further clarification on anything, feel free to ask.
Okay, so I need to know that uh, how
Sure.
there are how many chambers are in the lungs.
Lungs don't have chambers like the heart does. Instead, they consist of lobes. The right lung has 3 lobes, the upper, middle, and lower lobes. The left lung has 2 lobes, the upper and lower lobes. These lobes are divided by fissures and help organize the lung structure for efficient gas exchange. Does that clarify it for you?
Oh, yep, that's nice. What
If
is veins and uh, yep, what is veins?
Veins are blood vessels that carry deoxygenated blood from the tissues back to the heart. They have thinner walls than arteries and often have valves that prevent backflow, ensuring blood moves in one direction toward the heart. After the blood is pumped to the lungs to release carbon dioxide and pick up oxygen, it returns to the heart through veins, completing the circulation process. Do you need any more details about how veins function?
Yeah. No, I'm okay and good. Basically, what is inside the red blood cells?
Inside red blood cells, the main component is hemoglobin, a protein that binds oxygen. Hemoglobin contains iron, which gives red blood cells their color and allows them to carry oxygen from the lungs to the body's tissues and transport carbon dioxide back to the lungs for exhalation. Red blood cells also contain enzymes and other proteins that help maintain their structure and function. If you have more questions, feel free to ask.
Okay, thank you, ChatGPT, for explaining me about this topic. So please elaborate it more and tell me more things about human respiratory and circulatory system.
No worries. If you have any other questions in the future, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.
Okay, please tell me something more about that.
Sure. The circulatory and respiratory systems are closely connected. 1. Gas exchange. The primary function of the respiratory system is to exchange gases, taking in oxygen and expelling carbon dioxide. This happens in the alveoli in the lungs, where oxygen enters the blood and carbon dioxide is removed. The circulatory system, powered by the heart, transports oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to tissues and organs. It also carries carbon dioxide-laden blood back to the lungs for exhalation. 3. Regulation. The body carefully regulates breathing and heart rate to meet oxygen demands, especially during activities like exercise. Together, these systems ensure that your body functions efficiently. If there's anything specific you want to know more about, feel free to ask.
No, that's okay. So thank you so much, ChatGPT, for doing interview with me. And I love to talk about you and that respiratory and circulatory system. Thank you so much. See you again soon. Bye bye.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed our chat. See you next time. Take care and bye for now.
Okay, guys, I hope you like this broadcast. So I'll back with another interview and other questions. Until then, take care and bye bye.